What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to say happy first day of fall. I know today, at least where I am, it's really gloomy out and it's rainy, but I feel like that's very fitting for the first day of fall. I wanted to sorry you guys, I had to collect my thoughts because just like fall, I feel like this season for me is about letting a lot of things fall into place. I know during these months and around this time every year, I just experience the most cycle-like lessons in life. And what I mean by that is I go through very similar things that kind of feel like I'm repeating cycles until I learn the lessons that's needed to learn and actually finally break them. And I feel like for this year, I spent a little time reflecting on what those cycles look like for me, and hopefully by next year, I'm not experiencing them anymore. And I kind of wanted to just title this, that's why I titled this video, What Fall Teaches Me. I wanted to reflect on the changing seasons and how they kind of mirror changes in my life and personal growth, and kind of share those lessons with you guys, hoping that what I've learned might encourage you guys to reflect on the lessons that you're learning in this season in life as well. And I'm kind of talking low because this is the first time I filmed and like there was somebody home who was actually like present to listen. Like my mom is here and she's in her room, but I know she's not probably listening, but I know she can hear me. She's not intentionally listening, but she can most likely hear me, and so that's kind of awkward for me. So this is another kind of personal growth I'm going through, kind of breaking free of that insecurity to film around others and do what I love around other people, like that fear of judgment, looking weird, or I don't know, just people kind of thinking I'm silly for creating YouTube videos and creating content for you guys. I know I told you guys in the past that when I was younger, I found my sister's old camera. It was like a Sony camera. I remember it was hot pink too, and I would just record like YouTube videos on that, and I would upload them to my channel, and I had so much fun doing it. Like I didn't even think about it. I would just get the camera and record and upload, and it wasn't until I got my first comment from a viewer that said like, "You're ugly," and it was misspelled, by the way, so I'm sure it was from someone who was either my age or younger, just kind of trolling the internet. And maybe I was ugly to them, you know. I was pubescent teen who didn't have a sense of style or skincare or anything. I didn't consider my looks that much during that time, but you know, for me, I just always think about if I would have stayed consistent and not let that one troll take me away from something that I obviously enjoy doing, how far would I be now in my YouTube career? And I think for me, that's kind of a lesson that I've been learning, and that I learn a lot, not only just in this season, but in all the seasons of my life. But it becomes most apparent during this season because there's holidays coming up, you know, the weather gets colder, people want to do things, they want, you know, there's just a lot more, what's the word? There's a lot more things. There's a lot more things. This is why you have to expand your vocabulary, people. But there's just, attractions. There's a lot more of attractions around the city during this time of year. Like there's things for fall, there's things for Halloween, there's things for Christmas, New Year's Eve. So it's just a big time of the year, and I always experience the greatest financial setback during this year. And not just because I'm like consuming a lot, like I'm buying things or that I'm spending beyond my means. It's always work. Like, it's always the work aspect. Like, I burn out during this time of year. I feel like I spend the beginning half of the year like either looking for a better job, trying to find a better job, working hours and hours to make up for this time of year last year where I wasn't working, and trying to financially recover to the point where when I get back to this time of the year, I'm burnt out again. And I feel like it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm just working jobs. I haven't really found a career that I love. Like, I like the things that I do right now. For you guys that don't know, I substitute teach, and I like that. Like, I like hanging out with the kids. Like, they're really fun. But on my last substitute job, someone said something to me, like one of the teachers there, and she didn't say it directly to me, she just kind of said it in conversation, but it really stuck with me. Like, what she said, like, it left an impression. And I was like, like, you know, like, and she said to me, she was like, well, if you she was like, if you know you want to be a teacher, you know by now. And I was like, wow, like, you're right. Like, because I told her that I was doing these programs that offer people who already have a bachelor's degree to go back to school and become a teacher again. And when she said that, I was like, I put it in these applications, but you're right. Like, if I wanted to be a teacher, then I would already know that by now. And it's not that I don't like being around students, that I don't like it or that I don't enjoy it, but I just know that it's not something for me. And hearing it from her and actually hearing someone kind of vocalize it kind of made me think, like, okay, well, you obviously have the ability to do these things, but just because you have the ability to do them doesn't mean that that's what you actually need to do. And for the longest, I feel like that's where my burnout comes from. That's why this cycle of me facing financial hardship kind of never ends around this time of the year, because I continuously look for jobs that I know I can do, that obviously offer good pay, offer good benefits, provide that stability that I want, but they're not what I need. You know, they're not the purpose that I have for my life. It's clearly not something that I want for myself long term, and that's why they never work out. That's why I never can be in them for too long without feeling like there's something else I'm being called to do, or feeling like, oh, well, if this changes about this job aspect, or if the pay is different, then maybe I'll enjoy it more. But it's like, no matter how much money they offer me, no matter how many ribbons I put on it, it's not a gift that I want. It's not the present that I'm looking for. Try to use like a analogy. But yeah, so I feel like that is something that I'm really trying to learn for myself, what it is that I want to do with my life. Like, and I hope that in discovering what it is that I want to do for my life, that this cycle of financial hardship will break. I feel like once I do find that thing for me, that's the cycle that I'm in, just having trouble really believing that this is something that I could do for myself long term, and that it's something that can provide for me in my future, and not having to worry about a 9-to-5 job or sticking to something that I know I have no passion or desire for. But moving on from that, and I hope that from that you kind of get that no matter what stage of life that you're in, if you're younger than me, if you're older, it's okay to like think about these things, have these worries, have these doubts, but at the end of it all, continue to push past that and still do what it is that you love to do. Like, I know, especially for those people who are like creators or entertainers. I know those are hard industries. Like if people want to be actors, people want to be singers, rappers, whatever it is, artists, designers, fashion designers, anything like that. I know those areas in life are heavily polluted, and that it's just a hard field to break into, especially if you don't have those connections, or you're somebody like me who, like, you don't really know what it is that people want to see, or you don't really understand what it is that people like in terms of what's the difference between one person making a video and another person making the same type of video, but that other person having success that the other person didn't. You know, I don't understand the logistics of that thing, but I just know that when I get in front of the camera and that I talk to you guys, I enjoy it, and that I like it, and that I love editing, and that I love making content and posting videos and posting pictures. Like, those are things that I just love to do, and I always have, and I probably always will. And me saying that is to say that, yeah, even though you are pessimistic or you are realist, some people like to say they're a realist, and you feel like these aren't stable careers or stable things for people to do, then it's okay to think that way and have that side of you. I feel like it's healthy to always look at both sides of the coin, but continue to do it. Like, that's my encouragement to you, to continue to do it regardless of those doubts and those fears and those scares. You know, have that side job. Like me, do I feel like substituting is a side job for me? It's the job that makes me the money, but it's not necessarily a passion for me. It's a side job until what I love can benefit me in the way that the side job does, you know, that it can pay for health insurance and actually generate an income and things like that. So just be bold and live your life the way that you want to live, like curate it in the way that you envision it, because I don't think that it'll happen if you don't actually try and take a chance on it. I don't think that what you want for yourself in life will magically just fall into place and fall into your lap without you actually working towards it and doing it. I do believe that fairy tales happen and that happy endings are in the end for me and you guys. I think that everybody will get a happy ending to life. I hope that for people, and I know that just pushing past that and leaning more into faith, that'll help you tremendously when it feels hard, and when you realize that you're in this cycle of I'm doing things and I'm not seeing progress, or I'm doing things and I'm burning out because I'm not doing things that I love. Like, push that burnout to the side and just realize, like, okay, like, focus. What is it that you love? Focus on that and do that. And I promise you, like, one day that burnout and them fears will melt away. That's what I'm hoping. At least that's what I'm hoping for me and you. Another thing that I feel like I'm experiencing, or that I'm learning this fall, is to let things go. I think that is the biggest one, letting things go, you know, just like the trees. I actually had a friend the other day say to me, she was like, I was like, I wish I could just be a tree. And she was like, well, think about the trees. Think about what they have to go through. No matter the weather, no matter the storm, they just have to stand there and endure it all. And I don't know, like, to me that was so profound. Like, it was just a profound observation that she made. And I was like, but when you think about it, like, I feel like that's how we should all be. Like, we should imitate nature. Like, we share something with nature, and I feel like we all do, whether you're a tree lover or not. But we all share the same characteristic. Like, we're all living things and we're living in this world together. And just like a tree, though it might stand there and just endure it all, it's stronger, its roots are deeper, and it more than likely will outlast all of us. So I kind of find strength in that. I find endurance in that, and just knowing that even in your difficult moments and in your toughest times, it's not always about changing it drastically or figuring a way out of it quickly, but sometimes enduring what you're going through, enduring that tough process, and naturally it will change for you. That the tough process will give you the strength and endurance that you need to enter a new season, because just like that storm that she said the trees have to endure, they also enjoy good weather too. They enjoy the sun rays falling and beaming on them, and the water and the rain nourishing them, and the soil and their roots. So they enjoy the good parts too, on top of the bad parts. And I feel like that is something that I'm learning to do as well. I'm learning to endure and stand through my seasons of tough times, stand through all of the mess and the mud, and that my sun rays and my summer season and my growth season will come from that, rather than running from it and hoping that I'll find a greener pasture on the other side, but that my greener pasture will grow while I tough it out in the dirt. But yeah, I'm hoping that all of this makes sense. I know for me, someone said once like, oh, you would be good on a live stream, and I feel like I would, just because I kind of free flow in thought a little bit. To me, that's because I can like talk for hours, I can talk for days. I just like to drive my point so that I feel like it makes sense and it's connecting with as many people, and that I'm getting as much of my meaning out as possible. Like, I know it's hard for me to say what I mean in one sentence, and I've heard that a lot. Like, just say what it is, make it short, make it simple. Like, nothing about me is short and simple, even though I'm 5'3". Nothing about the things that I say can ever be one sentence. So that's why I just kind of try and circle back in the end of my run-ons and make sure that you guys are connecting with me. And then lastly, just to wrap this video up, I kind of said it earlier in the beginning part of when I was talking about my financial burdens and the cycle that I feel like I'm breaking, and the personal growth as well that I feel like I'm going through, which is endurance and strength. I think for me also, just another life lesson that I'm learning is to have faith. Like, I believe in God, and I know for many people, like, their belief system and their relationship with something higher than them, like, that comes from how they're raised, how they're born, or, you know, just kind of figuring it out on their own. And I think for me, yeah, I was raised with this background, but my relationship and me actually believing in it came from developing a relationship with God myself. And I think a lot of what I'm hearing right now, and a lot of what I've been hearing in this season of letting things go and endurance, was to have faith in Him and follow my heart. Like, that's been really heavy on me lately, just to follow my heart. They say all the things of life flow out of it, and to guard it the most out of everything. And I feel like that's what He's trying to teach me to do. Like, if I surround myself with good people, and I put myself in a good environment, and if I take care of myself in the ways that He's shown me, taking time to reflect, learning to eliminate bad habits, and just taking the time to really focus in on what it is that I love, then my heart won't lead me astray, and that all things will make sense in the end. And having a little faith on top of that will just take me the extra mile that I need to go. And for me, I feel like that's something, regardless of your religion, regardless of your belief system, faith in itself is what we need to have in these moments, because not everything that we want in life is going to happen in an instant. I know we're part of a generation that loves quickness, we love efficiency, we love instant gratification, we like things happening right away for us. But the things that really matter in life, and the things that are gonna be set in stone forever, like shifts in lifestyles, breakthroughs, generational breakthroughs, like those things take time because they have a bigger purpose that goes beyond you, but they have a purpose that affects not just your way of life, but the life of the people around you, the lives of the people in your community, and just the world in itself. And I feel like we have to have faith and know that those things will come if we're doing what it is that we know will lead us there, and we know what's right and what's on that path. We have to have faith that it will eventually come to pass, because though we might not see it, we know in our hearts, we feel it. And I feel like that's the greatest gift of all that we have. We can feel when things are going to work out, just like we can feel when things are going to go astray, or when things aren't going to be right, or when something bad is going to happen. You know how you get that gut feeling, right? I feel like we also have that same gift, but we just don't recognize it as much as we do the bad things, because we've been so, I don't want to say manipulated, but we've been so confused and taught that that feeling is just dreams, it's just imagination, it's just delusions. But it's not. It's you having trust that the things will work out for the greater good, the things that will work out for your good, for the benefit of others. And that though you can't see it with your physical eyes, and though it hasn't manifested into the real world, that there is a timeline in your life where it will happen. That's why you feel it. That's why it's on you. That's why that calling is there. That's why when you envision your life, you see yourself living this way, because it is already yours. You are already living that life. It just hasn't manifested into this present moment, but it's gonna happen. And I hope that you guys are able to take away some good things from this video. I hope that it was encouraging to you guys. Maybe you'll sit down and have a moment and think about some of the things that you just experienced a lot during this season in life, what things are falling into place or falling out of place for you, and what they're trying to show you about where you need to go and where you're going. And hopefully we all kind of break through the ugly and the bad, and we get to the good. Be like a tree, you guys, and endure it. That way, you know, when your leaves fall, they'll come back greener and prettier in the next season. Hope this video was I don't know, I hope this video was good. And as always, I love talking to you guys, and I will see you next video. Peace. I wore this sweater just for you guys. It's to represent the fall. You know, the pumpkins get very festive. I was gonna do makeup too, but then I was like, that's kind of unrealistic. I'm just sitting in the house. I've been sleeping all day. Why would I do a full face of makeup just to take it off? Like, make a cup of tea too. I just feel like, oh, this is such that vibe. It's raining. I just got back with my ex, bitch. He said he's sorry. That's my man. Give me hand. Top, 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 top. I did just break up with my man though. I didn't break up with him. He just stopped talking. I told him that, you know, I deserve more, and he's not giving that to me. So I feel like we should just be friends. He said he will try and work to get back into my good graces. We'll see, guys. We will see.